production. However, most of the time, ginagamit mo ang TSI sa anong grupo? Enterobac. What about yung OF? Kanino mo siya madalas ginagamit? Sa mga non-fermenters, in particular sa Pseudomonas. Kaso ang tanong, can we use TSI sa mga Pseudomonas, sa mga Burkholderia, sa Shewanella? Yes. At pag ginamit mo ang TSI sa kanila, they will just be reported K over K. Kasi nga, they are what? Non-fermenters. Okay? What about ang TSI? Can we use yung TSI sa mga Pseudomonas? Pwede. Okay? Kanino bagay ang TSI? Sa mga fermentative. Vibrio, tsaka sa Enterobac. Kanino bagay ang OF? Sa mga Pseudo. Pero tandaan, pwedeng iswap. Kasi pareho sila ng purpose. That is to detect acid production. Okay? So, we now move on to another topic, the fastidious organisms. Okay. So, when we say fastidious, narinig mo na yan ng prelim. Ano yung fastidious? When we say fastidious organisms, these are organisms, okay, na kailangang i-inoculate sa enriched media. Okay? When we say fastidious organisms, these are organisms with special requirements. Okay? Requiring enriched media for growth. And for the media to become enriched, dapat ano ang meron? Dapat may blood. Diba? Blood agar, chocolate agar are examples ng ano? These are examples ng enriched media. Okay? Tandaan mo, ang Haemophilus, pag in-inoculate mo sa nutrient agar, ang tanong, tutubo ba? Hindi. Kasi ang Haemophilus, meron siyang special requirement. Okay? So, pag sinabing fastidious, pag gram-negative cocci, example ng fastidious gram-neg cocci, Neisseria. Pag gram-negative bacilli, anong example ng fastidious? Haemophilus. Okay? Sa laboratory, pag sinabing fastidious, ang unang pumapasok sa isip ng mga taga-laboratory, Haemophilus at saka Neisseria. Malinaw? Okay. So the first group here is Haemophilus. Now this group was named as such. Okay, this group was named as such kasi this group is said to be what? Blood-loving. Okay? The word hemo. Pag sinabing hemo, blood. So basically, pag Haemophilus, these are blood-loving organisms. Okay? Most Haemophilus are normal flora. Maraming Haemophilus species. Haemophilus ducreyi, Haemophilus aegypticus, Haemophilus parainfluenzae, etc. Pero majority are normal flora. Okay? Many are normal flora. This is also the group requiring X and V factors. Okay? This is the group requiring X and V. If you would recall, naalala mo yung NVS, nutritionally variant, di ba? Ano ang nutritionally variant? They need vitamin B6. What about ang Mycobacterium? Ano ang need nila? Ang Mycobacterium, ang need nila, egg. Okay? What about Haemophilus? This is the group requiring X at saka V factors. So some Haemophilus, they need only X. Some, they need only V. Yung iba, requiring both X and V. Nagets? So, pag sinabing X and V factors, related yon sa anong grupo? Haemophilus. So, what are the general characteristics? Haemophilus are said to be non-motile. They need increased CO2. They are capnophilic. They are capnophilic. They require 5 to 10 CO2. They can grow on horse blood. They can grow on horse or rabbit's blood. Okay? They can grow on horse, rabbit's blood. Okay? Horse blood o kaya rabbit's blood. Pero they are unable to grow sa SBA. Okay? Negative sila sa SBA. Okay. Naalala mo class, yung SBA, most of the time ang SBA, ginagamit natin yan sa anong grupo? We use it when dealing with strep. Okay? So anong Haemophilus? It can grow positively sa horse or rabbit's blood. Pag tinanong sa board exam, okay, which of the following can be used to allow growth ng Haemophilus? Nandoon yung horse, nandoon yung rabbit sa choices. Tapos walang both. The best answer, horse blood. Kasi yun ang most recommended. Okay? In the laboratory, to isolate Haemophilus, what we actually use ay chocolate agar. Naalala mo class, pag Enterobacterales, ano ang specimen? Stool. Pag dumating ang stool sa lab, saang media ka mag-i-inoculate? Okay, what are the media that we use to isolate Enterobac? Diba? Remember, EMB, Maconchi, SSA. Diba? Okay, pag Haemophilus, so say for example, you are the medtech, dumating ang specimen sa lab, feeling mo positive sa Haemophilus, saan mo siya i-isolate? Saan mo siya patutubuin? Often used in the lab, routinely used in the lab is chocolate agar. Okay? Chocolate agar. Okay, so what is the media often used to recover Haemophilus sa mga samples? Again, it is chocolate agar. Routinely used to isolate Haemophilus. Automatic yon class. Automatic yon sa lab. Pag may dumating na sample for Haemophilus detection, ang umpisa, ipe-plating sa cup, sa chocolate agar. Ini-inoculate sa cup. Biochemically, mostly are catalase oxidase positive. Okay? Ang nasa handouts ninyo ay ito. Tama? Yung naka-bracket, yan ang nasa binigay kong handouts. Pero may dagdag, pakipicturan. Pakipicturan pagkatapos kong i-fill up. Okay? So as to oxygen requirements class, Haemophilus are facultative anaerobes. Can live with or without air. Okay? To allow growth, we incubate at 35 to 37. However, may isang Haemophilus na choosy. Ayaw niya ng 35 to 37. Okay? Sino yung hindi tutubo sa 35 to 37? The one that will not produce growth at 35 to 37, si Haemophilus ducreyi. Okay? Kasi ang preferred ni ducreyi ay 33 degrees. Okay? Okay, take note ang Haemophilus, fastidious sila. Okay, fastidious. Pero may isa na extremely fastidious. Okay? Extremely fastidious. And considered extremely fastidious, again, it is ducreyi. Okay? Anong ibig sabihin ng extremely fastidious? Hindi enough na ang media ay may blood lang. Dapat yung media na gagamitin mo sa kanya, may blood na, may supplements pa. Naintindihan? Kung lahat tayo dito Haemophilus, okay tayo sa chocolate agar. Kasi may blood na doon. Pero si ducreyi, hindi enough na chocolate agar lang. Dapat yung chocolate agar may dagdag na supplement. Kasi it is extremely fastidious. Biochemically, they are catalase, oxidase positive, except again, si Haemophilus ducreyi. Nagets? Sige, picture. Okay? Naalala mo yung catalase? Anong tinutukoy kong catalase dyan? It's the same catalase for staph, hydrogen peroxide. Anong positive? Bubbling. Yung oxidase, paulit-ulit na. Anong positive sa oxidase? Purple. Diba? Okay. Next. Move on tayo. So, sabi ko kanina, Haemophilus is the group requiring X and V factors. Okay, the first one is X factor. X factor, we call it also hemin. Other term for this ay hemin. So ano ba yung hemin? What is X factor? X factor is a heat stable product released upon the degradation ng hemoglobin. It is released upon the degradation ng hemoglobin. Degradation ng hemoglobin. Hemoglobin is component ng blood. Tama? Okay. In short, the source of X factor ay blood. Okay? Nagets? Ano ang source ng X factor? Blood. Okay. Next. The other one is V factor. Compared with X factor, yung V factor can be obtained from some bacteria. There are some bacteria that can be used as source ng V factor. May mga bacteria, they can provide V factor. Okay? Other term for V factor is coenzyme 1. Okay? Staphylococcus aureus. Okay? Staphylococcus aureus. S. pneumoniae. Streptococcus pneumoniae. Okay? S. aureus, S. pneumoniae, even Neisseria, yung tatlong pinilugan ko, can be used as what? Source ng V factor. Saan galing ang X? Sa blood. Saan galing ang V? It may come from other bacteria. So anong grupo yung nangangailangan ng X at V? The genus Haemophilus. Sino ang pinaka-choosy? Si Docreyi. Naintindihan? Choosy when it comes to incubation temp and also the type of media. Okay? Next. You have these handouts. Haemophilus parainfluenzae, Hemolyticus aprophilus par aprophilus. And in your handouts, magkakasama sila sa naka-table. Bakit ko sila pinagsama-sama? Okay? Magkakasama sa naka-table kasi they are not quite significant. Okay? Kasi the majority of them are normal flora. Okay? Though they cause infections, primarily they are what? Normal flora. Naintindihan? Normal flora sila. Normal flora sa respiratory tract. Okay? Haemophilus para Hemolyticus, Hemolyticus, Aprophilus, par Aprophilus, etc. Okay. So what are the species considered significant? Ano ang significant na Haemophilus? Considered significant is Haemophilus aegypticus. Okay? Haemophilus aegypticus, we call it also Cockwicks bacillus. Okay? Ang old name, Haemophilus aegypticus. Ang dating pangalan, Haemophilus aegypticus. Okay? Kaya lang we do not call it now Haemophilus aegypticus. Kasi ang pangalan na niya ngayon, Haemophilus influenzae biogroup aegyptius. Nasa handouts nyo din. Nagets? Okay. Ito yung dating pangalan. Okay? Aegypticus. And why is this significant? Bakit yan significant? Aegypticus is significant because number one, it is agent of what we call pink eye. Nagkukos ng pink eye. And what is pink eye? Pink eye is a contagious form. It is contagious form of conjunctivitis. It is a contagious form of conjunctivitis. Nagkukos ng eye infection. Okay? Which we call pink eye. So not only that, aside from causing pink eye, Aegypticus is also a cause of what? Febrile disease. At pag sinabi kong febrile disease, pinaganda lang yung term, fever. Recurrent fever. And we call it what? We call it Brazilian purpuric fever. Okay? What do we call the febrile disease related kay Aegypticus? We call it Brazilian purpuric fever. Dalawa, nagkukos na ng pink eye nagkukos pa ng febrile disease. Okay? Next. Another species considered significant also, Haemophilus ducreyi. Ducreyi is significant, and this is not normal flora. Hindi ito normal flora because this is cause of soft chancre. Ang kinokos nito, soft chancre. Okay, kasama talaga yung word na soft. Kasi may hard chancre. Gets? Okay, whether hard or soft, okay, pareho yon na class? Sexually transmitted. Okay? Haemophilus ducreyi is significant kasi it causes what we call soft chancre. And soft chancre is sexually transmitted. Okay? So, isang paraan para mabilis ma-detect si ducreyi, iba nga yung paraan para ma-identify ang species? Biochem. Mag-culture ka. Silipin mo sa microscope. Diba? Yan yung paraan na ginagawa to identify species. In the case of ducreyi, okay, to easily detect, makakatulong sa pag-identify kay ducreyi if we look for its unique appearance, unique arrangement under the microscope. Kasi under the microscope, it's the only bacterium forming what we call school of fish appearance. School of fish, okay, appearance. In the book by Mahon, okay, so under the microscope, ano siya class? Siya yung alin? School of fish. It forms the so-called school of fish appearance. Okay, in the book by Mahon, iniba, hindi school of fish. Ang sabi ni Mahon, railroad track appearance. Railroad track appearance. What else? Sabi din ni Mahon, fingerprint appearance. Fingerprint appearance. Okay? Kung si S. aureus, seen in clusters, kung ang micrococci observed in tetrads, kung si Clostridium perfringens, boxcar morphology, si ducreyi under the microscope, it appears as gram-negative cocobacilli na parang nakapila. Okay? Ang itsura niyan parang nakapila. Kaya nga tinawag na school of fish. So look at this picture. Ito yon. Naintindihan? So ito yung tinatawag na school of fish. Okay? This is also another picture showing what we call school of fish pattern. Okay? So if during microscopy, nakita mo yung ganyan, sinisilip mo yung gram stain smear sa microscope, nakita mo yung ganyan, most likely ang dinidil mo ay sino? Si Haemophilus ducreyi. Okay? Okay. Wala ito, yung mga susunod kong i-mention, wala sa handouts. Kaya pakinggan. Okay, ganito yun class. Ulitin ko lang. So say for example, ikaw yung medtech, naka-receive ka ng specimen, suspected to be positive. Suspected to be positive for Haemophilus. Anong una mong gagawin dyan sa specimen? After processing. So after processing, we isolate. I-inoculate mo, you do the primary plating. And when I say primary plating, mag-inoculate ka saan? Chocolate agar. Okay? I-inoculate, itanim mo sa chocolate agar. Okay? Pero, kasabay ng pag-isolate, we can also prepare smear. We do gram staining. So, we also do what? Microscopy. Okay? Dalawa yung chinekan ko. When I say isolate, you do culture. I-culture mo. Pag sinabi kong microscopy, prepare ka ng smear, i-stain mo at silipin mo under the microscope. So, after kang mag-isolate, you purify. Okay? Ipo-purify, subculture. So, after subculture, you perform now the needed biochem. Diba? Ginagawa nyo sa lab yan ngayon. Abay kung hindi, sabihan mo yung teacher mo, finals na nung balak niya. Diba? Okay. So, microscopy. Punta tayo ngayon dito. Pakinggan muna. Okay. Pag nag-microscopy tayo, if we prepare smear and we examine it under the microscope, okay, anong Haemophilus ang pwede nating ma-detect? Okay? If we want to detect Haemophilus ducreyi, pag nag-microscopy ka ba, may makikita kang kakaiba? Yes. Sino yung may kakaiba? Kaka-mention ko lang, si ducreyi. In other words, to detect ducreyi, makakatulong kung under the microscope, hanapin mo yung tinatawag na school of fish. You look for the so-called school of fish. Kasi pag nakita mo yon, ang dinidil mo, si ducreyi. Now, if during microscopy, nakakita ka ng ganito, look at this picture. Okay? Gagawin kong yellow, ito. Okay? Yung yellow, organism, bacterium yon. Pero notice, parang may halo. Diba? Parang may halo. Ito yon. Yung parang halo is actually what? It is actually capsule. In other words, if during microscopy, you were able to observe gram-neg cocobacilli na may capsule, na may parang halo, most likely ang nakikita mo ay sino? Si Haemophilus influenzae. In other words, one way to detect influenzae is to initially detect its capsule. Okay? Nagets? Nag-gram staining ka. Pagsilip mo, may halo. So, most likely, anong bacterium yon? Anong Haemophilus yon? Si Haemophilus influenzae. Sinisilip mo, nakakita ka ng school of fish, malamang si ducreyi yon. Okay? Naintindihan? Sino yung dalawang may kakaibang itsura? Si influenzae, kasi it's the one with capsule. Okay? So, to detect the capsule of influenzae, what stain can be used? Pwede bang makulayan ang capsule? Pwede naman. We can use acridine orange o kaya methylene blue. Eh ma'am, paano yun? Pwede ba ang gram stain? Makikita rin ba sa gram stain ang ang halo? Yes. Okay? Nakita mo tong picture, di ba? This is gram staining. So pag ang capsule present, it will appear like what? Halo. Naintindihan? So what are the two Haemophilus with unique appearance under the microscope? Number one, ducreyi, kasi it's the one that shows school of fish. The other one is influenzae, it's the one that is encapsulated. Okay, next. Okay, so sabi ko kanina, kasabay ng microscopy, nagko-culture ka. And routinely uses what? Commonly used media for influenzae is chocolate agar. Okay? Kung lahat tayo Haemophilus, ito lang, okay na. Pero sino yung isang choosy class? Sino yung isang choosy? Hindi enough na chocolate agar lang? Si ducreyi. Kaya, yung chocolate agar, ilagyan ko ng asterisk. Time first, sabi ko, pipicturan mo, di ba? Okay, kung pipicturan mo yan, ngayon na. Burayin ko muna tong ito. Okay? So, sige, go. Wala yan sa handouts. Okay, acridine orange, methylene blue may be used to improve detection ni influenzae. Okay, next. Punta tayo sa culture. If we want to isolate influenzae, gumamit ka ng class? Gumamit ka ng chocolate agar. Okay? Gumamit ka ng chocolate agar. Kaya lang, hindi yun sapat pag ang gusto mong patubuin si ducreyi. Kaya chocolate agar, the use of chocolate agar with Isovitalex. What is the role of Isovitalex? Isovitalex here will act as what? Supplement. Okay? Chocolate agar na nga, enrich na nga, kulang pa. Kailangan ng supplement. So, the use of Isovitalex is required for what? It is required for Haemophilus ducreyi, and also for Haemophilus aegypticus. Pag influenzae, walang problema. To isolate, chocolate agar lang. Pero pag ducreyi, aegypticus, ano ang need? Dapat may supplement. Okay? Lumabas dati sa board exam, Nairobi biplate. So what is Nairobi biplate? There is one place, there is one lugar in the country Kenya na ang tawag Nairobi. Nairobi is a name of a place. Nairobi, Kenya. Okay? So sa Kenya, pinangalanan nila yung media na Nairobi kasi nagkaroon ng outbreak ng Haemophilus ducreyi. So the so-called Nairobi biplate, this is actually a media, okay, this is actually a culture media also intended for what? Also intended for Haemophilus ducreyi. Okay? Haemophilus ducreyi. Kanino yung Nairobi? Kay ducreyi. So how do we allow growth? I-incubate. Tingin sa akin class. Diba sa laboratory, nag-i-inoculate ka sa media. And after you inoculate, you place it inside the what? Incubator. Kaya lang, pag nasa incubator, ano ang environment doon? Pag nilagay mo sa incubator, it will supply the organism 21% oxygen at saka 0.03% CO2. Okay? Yun lang ang meron pag in-incubator mo. E paano kung capnophilic ang dinidil mo? Okay? Pag capnophilic ang dinidil, what must be used? If you are dealing with capnophilic, gaya ng Neisseria, gaya ng Haemophilus, pag nag-inoculate ka ba sa incubator lang? Hindi. Kasi kulang ang CO2 if you do it that way. So anong kailangan? Na-mention ko nung prelim, anong klaseng jar? Candle jar. So same is true if you are dealing with what? Anaerobe. Okay? Kung ang pinapatubo mo anaerobe, dapat mo bang ilagay sa incubator direkta? No. Madededs, walang tutubo. Kasi yung loob ng incubator may 21% oxygen. At ano ang anaerobe? They do not need oxygen. Okay? So what is the incubation requirement? To allow growth ng Haemophilus, for Haemophilus to produce colonies, there should be increased CO2. We incubate kadalasan 37. Okay? Pero pag ducreyi, it grows best at what? 33 degrees. Okay? Okay. Nag-inoculate ka ngayon sa media. Ano ang ine-expect mo the following day? Sumagot kayo. Nag-inoculate ka sa plate, sa media. Anong ine-expect mong mangyari the following day? May tubo. Diba? Ano yung tubo? Colonies. Okay? We wait for colonies to develop. What if you inoculated today, the following day, walang growth? Okay? Pag walang growth, we do not discard immediately. Pag ang dinidil natin, Haemophilus. If we want to detect Haemophilus, okay, in particular, ducreyi, we wait for 7 days. Okay? Okay, pinatubo mo si ducreyi. Kaso the following day, walang growth. Will you report it immediately negative? No. You wait for 1 week. If after 1 week, walang growth, then you report it as negative. Naintindihan? Now, what about Aegypticus? Okay? Cultures of Aegypticus must be held for how many? 4 days. Naintindihan? Ilan ang waiting time for ducreyi bago ka mag-report ng negative? 1 week. Pag Aegypticus, ilang araw ang waiting time before you discard? 4 days. Okay? 4 days. Sige, picture. Wala sa handouts. Pakipicturan. Okay. Pag nag-culture ba tayo, class? When we do culture, may makikita ka bang kakaiba? Meron. Okay? Ano yung makikitang kakaiba? Sa microscopy, sino lang yung pwede mong ma-detect na kakaiba? Si school of fish, the other one is the what with capsule, influenzae. Pag nag-inoculate ka on media, okay, may madedetect ka ba? Meron ka bang makikita na magbibigay sa'yo ng clue? Pag nag-inoculate ka sa media, meron. Okay? Take note, si Haemophilus influenzae can develop colonies. It can develop colonies with dewdrop appearance. And at the same time, with mousy. Okay, mousy or mouse nest odor. Okay, mouse nest odor. Okay, Haemophilus influenzae, when inoculated on media, will develop colonies appearing like dewdrops, pero hindi lang ordinary colonies kasi with accompanying odor. Ano yung odor? Mouse nest, mousy odor. Nagets? Okay, what else? To detect influenzae, it is best to detect what we call satellite T-cell. Okay? Detect satellite T-cell. Kasi pag na-detect mo yung satellite T-cell, it is as if you detected already influenzae. Okay? The only species that can show satellite T-cell ay si influenzae. So what is the group class? Sagutin ako. What is the group that shows Enterobac? What is the group that shows swarming? Proteus. Pag gram-neg. Pag gram-positive, si tetani tsaka si septicum. Pag gram-neg pero hindi Enterobac, si Vibrio. Diba? Si Vibrio, okay, Alginoliticus. Diba? Yung mga yan. Nagsaswarm sila on blood agar. So, kung ang Proteus may swarming, si influenzae, it will show naman satellite T-cell. Okay? How do we detect satellite T-cell? Okay? So, ulitin ko, kung ikaw yung medtech, you have here, for instance. So, say for example, you have here an unknown organism. Feeling mo, si influenza yan. Pero you are not sure na influenza yan. Suspected to be influenza. Okay? Isang paraan, i-detect mo yung alin. I-detect mo yung satellite T-cell. Para ma-detect ito, isang paraan, detect satellite T-cell. Okay? Kasi this one shows what we call satellite T-cell. Okay? To detect satellite T-cell, you prepare blood agar. Mag-prepare ka ng blood agar. You inoculate the organism suspected to be influenza. I-inoculate mo yung unknown na feeling mo si influenza. So after that, inoculate S. aureus. Okay? Yung vertical streak, yung red na vertical is actually S. aureus. Okay? Si S. aureus. In short, sa media, dala-dalawa sila. Nandiyan dyan yung unknown, nandoon din si S. aureus. Agets? Okay. Incubate. What happens after incubation? Definitely, si S. aureus, magpuproduce yan ng growth kung saan mo siya itinanim. Okay? What about influenzae? Haemophilus influenzae, if you're unknown, if the unknown is really influenzae, it will produce growth near the growth of what? S. aureus. Naintindihan? Kung talagang si influenzae, yung inilagay mo dyan, after incubation, it will satellite around the growth of what? S. aureus. Okay? Nagets? Eh ma'am, paano yun? Dito tumubo. Dito tumubo. Wala sa tabi ng aureus. Pag ang colonies malayo sa growth ng aureus, then this is not influenza. Kasi kung si influenza yan, didikit siya saan? Didikit siya sa growth ni S. aureus. Malinaw? So ano ba yung blood agar? Ano ang papel ng blood agar? The blood agar will serve as what? The source of X factor. Okay? The media will supply X factor. Okay, what about si S. aureus? Si S. aureus will be the source of what? V factor. Okay? So dun sa media mo, may X factor na, may V factor pa. And both are needed by what? Both are needed by Haemophilus influenzae. Malinaw? So what is the species? What is the Haemophilus species that shows satellite T-cell? Si influenzae. Inuulit ko, makulit lang. Kung ako si influenzae, pag sinilip mo ako sa microscope, may kakaiba kang makikita, yung halo. Pag nilagay mo ako sa media, may kakaiba ka rin makikita, satellite T-cell. Not only that, on media, yung colonies ko may amoy, mousy or mouseness odor. Naintindihan? Detect the capsule, detect satellite T-cell, detect the mouseness, okay, odor of colonies, detect the dewdrop appearing. Kaya lang, hindi pwedeng yun lang. Hindi pwede. Ma'am, nakita ko yung capsule. Nakita ko rin yung satellite T-cell. Enough ba yun to report it's positive for influenza? Hindi. Kasi nga, ano ang rule para mo ma-identify ang species? Ano ang rule? Ano mag-identify ng species? Biochem. Naintindihan? Kumbaga, nakita mo yung halo, naamoy mo yung mouseness, nakita mo yung satellite T-cell. These are only suggestive of what? Influenza. At hindi ito ang tutuldok sa species. Do you follow? Okay? So, look at this picture. Ito yon. Okay? The yellow vertical is what? Aureus. Ma'am, ba't yellow? Di ba nga, si Aureus ay ano? May Staphyloxanthin. Kaya yellow ang growth. Ma'am, ano yung bilog-bilog sa tabi? Yung bilog-bilog sa tabi, colonies nino yon, ni Haemophilus influenzae. Ma'am, ano yung background sa likod na pula? Malamang blood agar. Malinaw, ha? Okay, so sige, picture. Okay? Okay na? Okay, next. Move on tayo sa next. You have this again sa handouts. Diba? Okay, ganito yung class. Under genus Haemophilus, ang bida si influenzae. The most significant under Haemophilus is Haemophilus influenzae. We call it also Pfeiffer's bacillus. We call it Pfeiffer's bacillus. Ganito yung class. Si Haemophilus influenzae, may dalawang strains. There are actually 2 strains. Dalawang klase si influenzae. The typable strain, okay, and the non-typable. The typable and the non-typable. Okay, anong pinagkaiba? The typable strain is the one that is what? Encapsulated. Okay? Yung non-typable, basically, non-encapsulated. Kumbaga, if I am influenzae, dalawang klase ako. Yung isa may capsule, yung isa wala. Naintindihan? Okay. The typable strain, the one with capsule, yung typable strain, meron siyang 6 na serotypes. There are 6 serotypes. Okay? And these serotypes are serotypes A hanggang letter F. Okay? Ilan ang serotype ng typable? Yung typable strain ay 6 na klase. Serotype A, B, C, hanggang F. Pero the most significant Okay, the most significant serotype is serotype B. Okay? Ano ang significant na serotype? Serotype B. Why? This is the serotype implicated in diseases. Okay? Diba dalawa? Typeable, tsaka non-typeable. So, obviously, itong nilagyan ko ng asterisk, which is typeable, although normal flora yan, this is the one involved sa disease. Siya yung alin? Pathogenic. Naintindihan ba? Nagets? Okay. So, ano sa palagay mo? Ang virulence factor. Okay? What is the virulence factor? Obvious ba ang virulence factor niya? Capsule. The main virulence is the capsule. Okay? I hope malinaw. Kung ako si influenza, dalawang klase ako. Yung isa may capsule, isa wala. Yung wala, hayaan mo na yon. Normal flora. Sino yung normal flora pero implicated sa diseases? Yung encapsulated. And yung encapsulated, 6 na serotypes. Serotypes A hanggang F. Significant si serotype B. Malinaw ha? Okay. Punta ngayon tayo. Okay. Punta tayo dito sa part na to. Okay. Influenza, although normal flora, it is regarded as the number 1 cause. Nagkukos ng meningitis in. Okay. It causes meningitis among unimmunized. Okay? Among unimmunized children less than 5 years old. Okay? Remember neonatal meningitis. Neonatal is a galactiae. Adult bacterial above 29 S pneumoniae. Meningitis in elderly. Neonates, Listeria. Meningitis sa 5 to 29 meningitidis. Pero sa mga batang less than 5, it is Haemophilus influenzae. Malinaw? Okay. Can this be prevented, class? Pwede bang hindi magka-meningitis yung mga bata na less than 5? Pwede ba silang hindi magkasakit ng meningitis due to influenzae? Yes. Can this be prevented? Oo. And to prevent, we give Hib vaccine. Nagbibigay ng Hib vaccine. Okay? Remember Mycobacterium. To prevent TB, anong vaccine ang binibigay? BCG, di ba? Bacillus calmette-guerin. To prevent tuberculosis, ini-injectionan ka ng BCG vaccine. To prevent meningitis due to influenza, we give to children Hib vaccine. Ma'am, ano ba yung Hib? HI here is Haemophilus influenzae. The vaccine that is given is directed against serotype B. Naintindihan? Okay, Haemophilus influenzae, yung B dyan is against occurrence ng serotype B. So, anong kinukos ni influenzae? Number 1, agent siya ng meningitis. Pero, wala sa handouts. Number 2, it is also a cause of what? Otitis media. It is also a cause of otitis media. Okay? So, para lang maalala, class. So, what are the species said to cause otitis media? Lumabas na to dati sa boards. Ano yung nagkukos niyan? Number 1, si Moraxella Catarrhalis. Anong category ni Catarrhalis? Gram-neg cocci. What else? Si S. pneumoniae. S. pneumoniae is gram-positive cocci. The other one is what? Haemophilus influenzae. Okay, these are the common agents ng otitis media. Recalls yan from previous boards. Okay? Catarrhalis, S. pneumoniae, Haemophilus influenzae. Okay, ilan ang strains, class? Kung nakikinig ka talaga? 6. Ilan ang strains? Anong anin? 2. Okay, sino yung significant? typeable. Kung ako yung typeable, ano ang meron sa akin? Capsule. Kaya, take note, the capsule here is actually the what? Major virulence factor. So, what is the major virulence factor ni influenza? Capsule. So, capsule lang ba ang meron? Hindi. Aside from capsule, the typeable strain has pilay. Okay, what are the other virulence? May pilay nasa handouts, di ba? Ano yung pilay? For attachment. What else? Meron din siyang IgA protease. It has outer membrane LPS. And take note yung LPS class. Yung LPS, this is involved in the production of what? Endotoxin. Okay? Okay, endotoxin. Typers. Matatapos na ang SEM. Baka lang hindi pa alam. Diba gram positive, gram negative. Tandaan mo, class, ang mga gram negative, okay, ang mga gram negative, whether cocci or bacilli, ang mga gram negative, in their cell wall, one component ng cell wall nila ay LPS. Okay? And LPS is the major component ng ano? It's the major ingredient ng endotoxin. Okay? Ano ang main ingredient nito? Lipopolysaccharide. Kaya, ang type ng bacteria na nagpuproduce lang ng endo ay gram negative. Walang gram positive na nagpuproduce ng ano? Endotoxin. Okay? Endotoxins are actually produced only by what? Gram negative organisms. Okay? Ilang klase ba ang toxin? Dalawa. Exo tsaka endo. Pag exo kasi, either gram positive, gram negative, nagpo-produce. Pero take note, ang endo, it's produced only by gram negative. Okay? Nagets? Okay, next. Okay. I-fill up natin. Diba ito yung nasa handouts? Again, what is the most common serotype significant? The most common and significant is serotype B. Haemophilus influenzae is gamma hemolytic. And on chocolate agar, it develops what? Nabanggit ko na kanina, dewdrop appearing colonies with mouseness, mousy odor. And in addition, it shows what? Satellite T-cell. It shows satellite T-cell. Okay, next. Wala ito sa handouts. Pwede picturean. Again, okay, ulit-ulit lang yung sinasabi ko, di ba? To identify Haemophilus, number 1, we do microscopy, which I mentioned already. Okay, if it's Ducreyi, school of fish. If it's influenzae, capsule. Number 2, mag-culture ka. At ano ang kadalasang media? Chocolate agar. Bakit chocolate agar? Kasi nga, fastidious. And if the organism is fastidious, what is required? Enriched media. Okay? So we do the biochem. We perform next the biochem to identify species. Ma'am, anong biochem ang ipe-perform? You do carbohydrate fermentation test. So when we say carbohydrate fermentation test, okay, gumagamit dyan ng iba-ibang sugars. The reason why sa handouts mo, may naka-table, nandoon na naman si glucose, etc. Naintindihan? Okay, nabanggit ko na to. Sa Neisseria pa lang, naalala mo, anong fine-ferment ni meningitis? Mg, maltose glucose, gonorrhea G glucose, lactamica, maltose glucose, tsaka lactose. Neisseria sicca, may letter S, maltose glucose, tsaka ano, sucrose. Okay? We do the same procedure pag ang dinidil natin, Haemophilus. Bakit mo gagawin ito? For you to identify kung anong Haemophilus. For you to identify species. Okay? Pakitingin ito sa handouts, di ba? May ganyan sa handouts na binigay ko. This is actually the result for what? The result for carbohydrate fermentation. Ano ang positive result dito? Malamang acid. Kasi when we say fermentation test, we detect what? We detect acid production. Diba? Okay. So to identify kung anong Haemophilus, gawin mo yung fermentation. And refer to this table for the interpretation ng result. Okay? Okay. Next. Another procedure that can help us identify the species, we detect beta hemolysis. Majority of the Haemophilus are gamma hemolytic. Majority ay gamma. Dalawa lang ang beta hemolytic. Sino yung dalawang beta? Considered beta, Haemophilus hemolyticus. Okay? Haemophilus hemolyticus. The other one, Haemophilus parahemolyticus. Okay? Okay. Tingin sa nakaproject. Padaliin natin. In other words, class, kung gusto mong ma-detect any of these, kung ang gusto mong ma-detect si Haemophilus hemolyticus, o kaya ito, okay, kung ito yung gusto mong ma-detect, isang paraan, detect beta hemolysis. Kasi pag nag-inoculate ka sa BAC at ang lumabas beta, then it could be this one or it could be this one. Pag nag-inoculate ka sa BAC, ang lumabas ay gamma o ano na yan? Kumbaga, eliminated na yan. Naintindihan? Makakatulong ang detection ng beta in the detection of Haemophilus hemolyticus, Haemophilus parahemolyticus. Kasi these are the only beta hemolytic Haemophilus. Okay? Next. Another way to identify kung anong species ng Haemophilus ang dinidil mo, you determine the requirement for X and V factors. Alamin mo, nagre-require ba ng X lang? Nagre-require ba ng V lang? Nagre-require ba ng both? O walang nire-require? Okay? Tandaan mo, class, kung lahat tayo dito, Haemophilus, it is not necessary na lahat tayo parehong nire-require natin yung X at V. Some Haemophilus, they need only X. May iba, V lang. Yung iba, both X and V. Pero may isa na walang nire-require, and that is the reason why tinanggal na siya sa Haemophilus. Okay? Tignan mo yung naka-table uli. You have this again in your handouts. You have here X at saka V factors. Diba? Okay. X and V factors. Sino yung walang nire-require? Si Aprophilus. Okay? Haemophilus, Aprophilus, does not require X, does not require V. Okay? Kaya, ano pang ginagawa niyan sa genus na yan? Diba? Na-evit. Nalipat na yan. Under what group? Okay? Nalipat na yan under Agregatibacter. Okay? Ganito. Tingin sa naka-project. May ganito ka sa handouts, di ba? Ito. Okay? So, para madali ang pag-memorize ng Tubanes, may madali. Okay? Lahat ng may para sa pangalan, Haemophilus parainfluenzae, Haemophilus parahemolyticus, Haemophilus paraprophilus, they need only V. Naintindihan? So, what Haemophilus needs only V? Lahat ng may para na word sa pangalan. Naintindihan? Hindi ko na ito pipilapan. Okay? Pwede mo itong picturean. Pero itong mga chinechikan ko, hindi ko na yan susulatan. Ikaw na magsulat. Hanapin mo na lang. Diba? Okay. Sino yung nangangailangan lang ng X? Isa lang yon. At dahil isa lang, susulatin ko na. Si Ducreyi. Ano lang ang nire-require ni Ducreyi? X lang. Sino yung nagre-require ng V lang? Yung may mga para sa pangalan. Okay? Walang nire-require kahit ano. Not requiring X tsaka V. Okay? This is Haemophilus aprophilus. Okay? Aprophilus. At dahil walang nire-require, tinanggal na siya sa pagiging Haemophilus. We call this now as Aggregatibacter. We call it now Aggregatibacter aprophilus. Ano na ang pangalan niya ngayon? Aggregatibacter aprophilus. Naintindihan? Sino yung na-evict? Si Aprophilus. Ano na siya ngayon? Aggregatibacter. At sinaulo mo yan dahil kakakwis lang. Aggregatibacter aprophilus is member of the so-called HASEP. Diba? Siya yung isa dun sa letter A. Kasi yung isang letter A, Aggregatibacter actinomycetem comitans, star-shaped colonies. Diba? Okay. Requiring both X and V. Ano ang mnemonic? Okay. Ano ang mnemonic? Yung H, A-I. Ano yung letter H? Okay. Ano yung letter H sa H-A-I? Haemophilus. Okay. Ano yung letter H doon, class? Okay. Yung letter H dito, Haemophilus hemolyticus. The letter A is Haemophilus aegypticus. The letter I is Haemophilus influenzae. Okay? So, makulit lang, pag para ano lang ang kailangan, V. Okay? Pag X and V ang need, ano ang mnemonic? H-A-I. Okay? Pag X lang, class, si Ducrey lang. Okay? Sino yung na-evict? Aprophilus. Ano ng pangalan? Aggregatibacter aprophilus. Okay? Okay. Kaso ang tanong, tingin uli sa nakaproject. Ma'am, paano ko ba malalaman kung positive o negative? Okay? Anong procedure? Okay, ma'am, sinaulo ko na yan ang table. Sa ulado ko. Ang tanong, paano mo malalaman? Halimbawa, ito yung bacterium, binigay ko sa iyo. How will you know? What procedure will you do to determine ano ang need? X ba? V ba? Or both? How will you do it? Dalawang paraan. To detect requirement for X and V, number 1, you can use commercially available X and V strips. Pinicturean mo to kanina, di ba? To detect requirement for X and V, gumamit ka ng strip. May nabibiling commercial X and V strips. Okay? Medyo mahal yun. Okay? Another way, you perform DALA test. Other term for this is porphyrin test. Okay? Pwede ito, pwede rin naman letter B. Kung saan ka masaya. Okay? So, unahin ko muna yung strip. Okay? Ano ang procedure? Ganito yon. Okay. If you will use, say for example, you have here again, unknown organism. Okay? Identified as Haemophilus. Kaya lang you want to identify kung anong species. Okay? You determine requirement for X. So, to determine requirement for X, you prepare plain agar. Mag-prepare ka ng plain agar. Okay? Inoculate the organism to be tested. So, after that, you apply commercial strips. Maglagay ka ng strip commercially available. Yung isang strip, impregnated with X factor, the other one with V factor. Okay? The other one with V factor. Yung isa, may V factor. So, anong next? After that, you incubate. If after incubation, tingnan mo yung drawing, if after incubation, may growth around X, okay? Wala sa V factor. Ibig sabihin, yung organism na in-inoculate mo requires only what? X factor. Naintindihan? Okay, look at this picture. Okay? There is growth around X. Wala sa V. Ibig sabihin, ano lang ang nire-require? X. May growth around V. Wala sa X. Ang nire-require lang V. Okay? If there is growth around X and V strips, yung itinanim mo, nagre-require ng X at saka ng V. Malinaw? Okay. This is how you determine requirement for X and V. Gumamit ka ng strip. Kung walang strip, another option, you perform what we call DALA test. Okay? Gawin mo ito. What is other name for this test? We call it also porphyrin test. Okay? So what is the purpose of DALA? One purpose of this is to determine, okay, to determine requirement for X factor. Okay? One way or one reason kung bakit ito ginagawa is to determine requirement for what? For X factor. Okay? To determine requirement for X. Tignan mo yung naka-table sa handouts. Look at the column for DALA. Look at the column for X factor. Nakita? Anong napansin mo sa result? Opposite. Okay? Magka-opposite, di ba? Okay, tingin muna. Ginawa mo yung DALA. And after doing this, nag-positive. If after doing this, nag-positive, what does it mean? Ibig sabihin, yung tinatest mo does not require X factor. Okay? Ginawa mo to. Negative. Anong ibig sabihin? Nagre-require siya ng X factor. Naintindihan? Nag-perform ka ng DALA positive, kaya sa X factor negative. Hindi siya nagre-require. DALA negative, tignan mo yung column ng X positive, ibig sabihin nagre-require. Malinaw ba? Nagets? Okay. What else? Another purpose of DALA test is to determine the ability of the organism to produce the needed enzyme to convert this one sa dalawang end products. Okay? Ginagawa mo to para malaman kung yung bacteria ba nagpo-produce ng enzyme to convert this one into two end products. Ano yung dalawang end products? Porphyrin and also porphobilinogen. Okay? So, dalawa yung end products. So, after doing the test, dalawa yung i-detect. Ito o kaya ito. Isa lang ang ma-detect, positive. Naintindihan? No need to detect both. So, to detect porphobilinogen, for us to detect the porphobilinogen, ma'am, ano ba kasi yung porphyrin? Ano yung porphobilinogen? These are the end products. Okay? Kung ang tinetest mo, wala nung enzyme, hindi yan mapoproduce. Okay? Kung yung tinetest mo na bacteria, merong enzyme para ma-convert ito dito sa dalawa, after doing the test, meron ito at meron din ito. Okay? So, to detect porphobilinogen, to the sample, we add COVAX reagent. Okay? Ano ang required reagent to detect porphobilinogen? Papatakan mo yung test sample ng COVAX. And what is considered positive? Development ng red color. Okay? Ma'am, na-detect ko na yung porphobilinogen. Need pa bang i-detect si porphyrin? Hindi na. Naintindihan? Okay. Ma'am, walang COVAX. Pwede bang porphyrin ang i-detect? Yes. To detect porphyrin, you expose it sa UV. Okay? So, anong positive class? If porphyrin is present, it will show what? Red fluorescence. Okay? Detection ng porphyrin will require exposure saan? Sa UV. Detection ng porphobilinogen will require addition naman ng COVAX. Okay? Okay. Next. We move on now. Baka nakatulog ka na, tapos na tayo sa Haemophilus. Again, when I say fastidious, okay, dapat ang naiisip mo, Haemophilus at saka Neisseria. Even strep, considered yan as fastidious. Okay? Move on tayo sa tinatawag na ELA group. Okay? ELA. Ano yung mga ELA? Bordetella, Brucella, Francisella, Legionella, Pasturella. Okay? All ELA, all members of ELA require special media for growth. They require special media for growth. Okay? They need special media. Tutubo ba yan sa nutrient agar? Hindi. Bakit hindi? Kasi they are also fastidious. They have special requirements. Okay? They have special requirements. Ang Mycobacterium, fastidious ba? Malamang. Kasi anong need? Egg. Malinaw? Ang Mycoplasma, are they fastidious? Oo. Kasi anong need? Sterol. At kababanggit ko lang, Haemophilus ay fastidious kasi anong need? X at saka V factors. Okay? Okay. Yung ELA, they have special requirements. So the first group is Bordetella. And under Bordetella, sa handouts mo, may tatlong species. Bordetella pertussis, parapertussis, Bordetella bronchi septica. And all Bordetella are involved sa respiratory disease. Okay? Lahat ng Bordetella, they cause respiratory disease. The reason why to detect, usually submitted for testing is nasopharyngeal swab. Okay? So what is usually submitted for testing? Nasopharyngeal swab. So what are the characteristics ng Bordetella? So number one, Bordetella are said to be what? Strict aerobes. They are all non-motile. The only motile Bordetella, si bronchi septica. Okay? So if we receive specimen suspected again to be positive for Bordetella, what media, okay, do we need to use? Saang media mo siya i-inoculate? Pag gram-negative, Enterovac, EMB, Makonki, diba? Pag Vibrio, ano ang plating media? TCBS. Pag strep, ano ang plating? SBA. Pag Neisseria Haemophilus, ano ang plating media? Chocolate agar. Okay? Pero pag Bordetella, saang media natin itatanim? Saan media mo siya ilalagay? Use as isolation media, commonly used is potato blood glycerol agar. Okay? This is the one commonly used. Pero take note, the potato blood glycerol is not the most recommended. Kasi the most recommended is Reagan Low. Okay? Anong madalas? Potato blood. Okay? Pero ang pinaka-okay, Reagan Low. Okay? Sa totoong buhay, anong ginagamit? Sa laboratory, malamang wala namang Reagan Low. Sa libro lang yun. Diba? Okay? Yung potato blood glycerol, although it's the one commonly used, in practice, we inoculate sa sheep's blood agar. Nag-i-inoculate sa SBA. Okay? So, unahin ko na itong dalawa. So, syempre, under Bordetella, the significant is Bordetella pertussis. The two other Bordetella, you have Bordetella bronchi septica, tsaka si parapertussis. So, why is parapertussis important? Parapertussis, important din yan because it can cause mild form. Nagkukos ito ng mild form of whooping cough. Mild form of pertussis. Okay? Mild version ng whooping cough. Okay? The known causative agent of whooping cough is Bordetella pertussis. Anong kinokos ni pertussis class? Normal flora ba yan? Malamang hindi. Kasi nagkukos ng whooping cough. And whooping cough is not simple coughing na mare-resolve in a few days. If you have whooping cough, pwedeng tumagal yan ng isang buwan. Naintindihan? Okay. And what is the virulence factor? What makes Bordetella pertussis cause whooping cough? Ano yung meron siya? Bakit siya nagkukos ng whooping cough? Number one, okay, Bordetella pertussis produces pertussis toxin. Nagpo-produce ng pertussis toxin. And when the toxin is released, when the toxin is produced, what happens? Okay? Kung ako yung organism, nagpo-produce ako nito, this toxin will promote secretion. Okay? This will promote secretion of mucus. This will promote secretion of mucus. Okay? So, lalong dadami yung plema. At dahil dadami yung plema, lalo kang uubuhin. Naintindihan? What else? Another virulence factor number 2 is FHA. Okay? Ano yung FHA? FHA stands for filamentous. Okay? It stands for filamentous hemagglutinin. Okay? Meron din siya nito. Filamentous hemagglutinin. Okay? And what is the function of this? Okay? The FHA will promote attachment. Okay? It will promote attachment. So, yung organism, lalong didikit sa respiratory tract. Okay? So, bukod sa maplema ka na, yung bacterium nandiyan pa nakakapit, okay, making coughing again more severe. Okay? So, what are the stages ng whooping cough? 3 stages. So, like what I've said, ma'am, bakit may stages? Kasi nga isang buwan kang may ubo. Naintindihan? So, what are the stages ng whooping cough? Number 1, catarrhal. The catarrhal phase is characterized by what? Flu-like symptoms. Flu-like symptoms. So, initially, parang trangkaso. Okay? So, during the initial stage, during the catarrhal, di ka pa masyadong inuubo. Okay? Yung pag-ubo, hindi pa matindi, hindi pa frequent. Okay? Pero kahit flu-like symptoms pa lang class, dito, okay, this is the stage wherein the patient nawala. The phase is characterized by what? Flu-like symptoms. And this is the period wherein the patient is highly contagious. Pinaka nakakahawa class. Kailan pinaka nakakahawa ang pasyente? Sa catarrhal phase. Patient is highly contagious. Okay? What happens in the paroxysmal? In the paroxysmal stage, the degree and frequency of coughing, increases. Okay? So, what happens sa paroxysmal? Naging matindi yung ubo, naging frequent yung pag-ubo. Okay? Ma'am, gaano ka-frequent? Almost 50 times a day. So, alalahanin mo yon. Okay? So, maghapon ka nag-uubo dyan. Okay? Ano yung convalescence? Convalescence is what? Period of recovery. Okay? Period of recovery. Again, what is the usual isolation media? Ano ang pinaka-okay? Regan law. Pero in practice, what we use is what? Blood agar, SPA. So when we place it on blood agar, si Bordetella pertussis will develop colonies appearing like what? Mercury droplet. Okay? Mercury droplet-like colonies. or we call it shiny half pearls. Colonies appearing like shiny half pearls. Okay? Mercury droplet. Pag dewdrop, kanino yon? Kay influenzae. Satellitism, kay influenzae. Shiny half pearls, mercury droplet light, it is what? Bordetella pertussis. Okay? Next. Okay. We perform pa rin the different biochem. Ipe-perform mo pa rin yung needed biochem. Kindly check your handouts. Ilang columns yung nandyan? Ilang biochem? Nandyan si catalase? Nandyan. O, pakipicturan mo ito. Okay. So, Maconchi agar, wala. Negative growth. Okay? Negative sa MAC. Okay? Catalase test, ano? Positive bubbling. Okay? Narinig mo na yung urease, di ba? This is the one that we do for ppm. Okay? Motility, lahat non-motive except for what? Bronchi septica. I already mentioned nitrate reduction. Na-mention ko to sa Mycobacterium. Anong positive dyan? Initially red. Ito yung nilalagyan ng zinc. Oxidase, anong positive? Purple. The citrate here is the one that is part of IMVIC. Nagets? Okay. We do the needed biochem. Ito yung result ng mga biochem for you to identify the species. Okay? Next. Another ELA. Okay? Itong part na to, nasa handouts. Tama? Okay. Pasturella is another ELA group. Okay? Under this, the species is Pasturella multocida. Okay? Pasturella multocida is considered zoonotic. Zoonotic kasi it can infect man and it can also infect animals. Okay? In man, it causes wound infection. Okay? In man, ano ang kinokos? Wound infection. Okay? Ang kinokos sa man, wound infection, which we call animal bite wound. We call it animal bite wound. Okay? Kasi pagka human bite wound, that is what? Sino yung human bite wound? Acanella. We call it also clenched fist wounds. Okay? Okay. One way to detect si Pasturella, we consider its appearance under the microscope. Kasi under the microscope, it shows bipolar staining. It shows bipolar staining. When we say bipolar, eto yon, yung magkabilang dulo ang nakukulayan. Okay? The bipolar staining will give rise to what we call safety pin appearance. Okay? It will give rise to what we call safety pin appearance. Okay? Pasturella multocida, animal bite wound, ang kinokos. Under the microscope, it assumes safety pin appearance. Pero it is not enough na nakita mo lang yung bipolar staining. Kasi still, you need to do the needed biochem. Okay? Pakipicturan uli itong part na to. Although yung iba rito, sa naka-project na nandoon na sa kanina. Diba? Pasturella is gram-negative bacilli. It is non-motile, can live with or without air. As mentioned, it forms the so-called bipolar staining. Biochemically catalase oxidase positive. ODC is what class? Ano yung ODC? Ornithine decarboxylase. Okay? ODC indole positive, non-hemolytic sa SBA. When we place it sa media, it will develop colonies with musty odor. Okay? Ang nasa libro, musty odor. Pre-pandemic board exam, Tinanong yan, pero ang ginamit, hindi musty odor. Okay? Ang sabi, it can develop colonies with mushroom smell. Okay? Mushroom smell. Okay. Diba? Bleach light, kakatapos lang ng quiz. Sino si bleach light? Si Echinella. Sino si ammonium cyanide? Si Chromobacterium viola. Si overripe grapes, si Pseudomonas eruino. Si fruity, si Alcaligenes fecalis. Diba? Okay. Amoy medya, sino si amoy medya? Si S. aureus. Amoy bukid, freshly plowed field, Sinocardia. Diba? Okay. Mushroom smell, sino yan? Okay. Si Pasturella. Okay. Next. Another Ella is Francisella. Okay? So, under this is Francisella tularensis. So, si F. tularensis, friends yan. Okay? Tropa yan ni Inoclas. Ni Bacillus anthracis, ni Yersinia pestis, ni Clostridium botulinum, simply because it is a category A, bioterrorism agent. Okay? So, F. tularensis is a strict aerobe. It's a strict aerobe. It is non-motile. Okay? Hindi rin ito tutubo sa ordinary media kasi it requires cysteine, thiosulfate. Okay? Yung hinighlight ko, dapat nasa media siya. Okay? The culture media should contain all of this for F. tularensis to produce colonies. Kasi pag wala yung mga yan, hindi yan tutubo. Okay? So what is required by F. tularensis? Cysteine, thiosulfate. And there is one media that can supply all of this. And what is that media? BCGA. Okay? Ano yung BCGA? Blood cysteine glucose agar. Blood cysteine glucose agar. Okay. What is the mode of transmission? Okay. Tularensis is significant. It is agent ng tularemia. Anong kinokos? Tularemia. Pero the term tularemia comes with many names. We can call it also rabbit fever. We call it lemmings disease. We call it deer fly fever. We call it water rat trapper disease. We call it also Marketman's disease. Wala sa handouts, pakisulat. Marketman's disease. Okay? Ano ang kinokos? Tularemia. Anong other name? Marami. Rabbit fever, deer fly fever, lemming disease, water rat trapper disease, Marketman disease. Okay? Ma'am, anong klaseng sakit ba yung tularemia? Pwedeng pneumonic or it can be sa balat. Naintindihan? Okay, kasi there are several forms of tularemia. Okay? So, what are the different forms of tularemia? Tularemia may be ulceroglandular. It could be ulceroglandular. Number 2, it could be pneumonic, gaya ng binanggit ko. Number 3, it could be oculoglandular. Oculoglandular. There are several forms ng tularemia. Ulceroglandular, pneumonic, oculoglandular. Natural kung pneumonic, ano ang mode? Inhalation. Pag ulcero, tsaka oculo, usually cutaneous ang route of infection. Okay? Eh ma'am, pag pneumonic, anong specimen ang i-collect from the patient? Pag ulceroglandular, anong specimen ang i-collect? So obviously, dapat iba-iba yung specimen, di ba? Kasi iba-ibang forms. Pero what specimen is acceptable? What specimen is acceptable to all forms ng tularemia? Okay? If we want to detect tularemia, whether ulceroglandular or pneumonic or oculoglandular, the type that is acceptable to all is blood. Okay? Sa detection ng tularemia, ano ang pwedeng i-process sa lab? What may be collected from the patient? Okay? May be collected from the patient is blood. Okay? Wala sa handouts, Forshey test. What is Forshey? Forshey is susceptibility test. This is susceptibility test for tularemia. Okay? Tularemia. Ma'am, ano yung susceptibility test? Naalala mo yung DIX. Ano yung DIX? Anong kapartner ng DS? Scarlet fever. Ano yung SHIX? Anong partner ng S? D. Diphtheria. Narinig mo na yung DIX tsaka SHIX, di ba? Okay, paalala ko lang uli. DIX test, ginagawa yan para malaman may chance ba na magka-scarlet fever ka o hindi, o wala. Ang SHIX test, we do it to determine if a person is at risk in having diphtheria or not. So, yung Forshey, kamag-anak nung dalawa. Okay? We do Forshey test to determine if a person, is there a possibility for a person to have tularemia or not. In other words, DIX, SHIX, and Forshey are all skin tests. Okay? Skin test yan. So, anong positive result? Hypersensitivity reaction. Ma'am, ano yung hypersensitivity? If we do skin test, we wait for what? Redness at the site of injection. Malinaw? Nagets? Anong kamag-anak ng Forshey? DIX, tsaka SHIX. Okay? Forshey. Okay, next. Legionella. Tapusin ko na to. At yung remaining, isa na lang naman, I will record. So, obvious, pag natapos to, when we meet again next week, alam na this. Naintindihan? Okay, Legionella. The last group, the last Ella, Nipah. Kasi may Brucella pa. Diba? So, Legionella pneumophila. Okay? Under Legionella, the significant is pneumophila. Pero aside from Legionella pneumophila, you also have Legionella mygdadae, Legionella bosmani. Whatever species ang pinag-uusapan, ang Legionella, these are all agents ng ano. They all cause pneumonia. Okay? Ano ang Bordetella? Disease, respiratory. Ano ang Pasturella? Wound infection. What about Legionella? They are agents ng pneumonia. Okay? Okay. Legionella pneumophila in particular is the significant species. Okay? Kasi si Legionella is the one that can be isolated. Okay? Can be detected sa mga aircon, sa mga air conditioning, sa mga cooling towers. Okay? It is gram-negative. Although it is gram-negative, under the microscope, ang putla ng pagkapula niya. Anong kulay ng gram-neg class? Anong kulay ng gram-negative? Red. Diba? Diba? Baka matatapos na hindi pa alam yung kulay ng gram-positive, ha? Paliguan kita na sapran, eh. Diba? Anong kulay ang gram-neg? Pula. Kaso, di ba ginawa niyo sa lab? Natuwa ka ba? Di ba hindi? Kainis. Di mo makita. Baka hanggang ngayon, di mo pa rin na-po. Ang gram-negative. Anong kulay ng gram-neg? Pula. Pero hindi siya pulang-pula. Maputla ang pagka-pula. Parang na may na-post na. Okay. Ano siya? Maputla yung pagka-pula. Pero pwede bang ma-improve yung pagka-red ni Legionella? Yes. Palitan mo yung safranin. Ano ang pwedeng pamalit? 0.1% fuchsin. Ma'am, ba't sabi nyo noon carbon-fuchsin? Ba't sabi nyo noon basic fuchsin? Same lang yun. Naintindihan? Either you replace safranin with basic fuchsin or tagalan mo yung staining time. Okay? We prolong the contact of the stain to the organism. Okay? Prolong the contact time. Gaano katagal? Gawin mong 3 to 5 minutes. Okay? 3 to 5 minutes. Okay. To isolate Legionella, okay, tandaan mo class, si Legionella, ang required niya, L-cysteine. Okay? Anong requirement ng F. tularensis? What is needed by tularensis? Cysteine, cysteine, at saka thiosulfate. What is needed by Legionella? Ang Legionella, ang kailangan niya, L-cysteine. The reason why, if we want to culture Legionella, dapat ang media merong L-cysteine. And what media can be used? We use naman BCYE. So ano yung BCYE? BCYE is buffered charcoal, okay, buffered charcoal yeast extract. Okay? Buffered charcoal yeast extract. Okay? When we place Legionella sa BCYE, pag nilagay mo siya dyan, it will develop colonies with ground glass appearance. Ground glass appearing colonies. Ground glass appearing colonies. Okay? Ano ang kinokos, class? Pneumonia. Kaya, what are the specimens that may be submitted for culture? Okay? Pwedeng bronchial washings. Okay? Pwedeng bronchial washings. We can also process sputum. Okay? Pwedeng sputum, pwedeng bal. Ano yung bal? Bronchoalveolar lavage. Okay? Anong specimen? Bronchial washings. Could be sputum, could be bal. Saang media mo itatanim, class? Saang media? Sa BCYE. Okay? Okay. A common lab test for Legionnaires. Ano ang common lab test? Which is also the rapid test. Okay? Urine antigen test. Dito ko lang sinulat. Okay? Common lab test is urine antigen test. So parang ang layo, di ba? Nagkukos ng pneumonia and yet the name of the test is urine antigen test. And urine antigen test is actually the screening test. This is actually the screening test. Okay? This is rapid test. Kaya yan yung screening. Okay? Okay. Next. Pakipicturean mo itong part na to. Ito. Okay. So, si Legionella, it is best diagnosed using combination of what? Using combination ng culture at saka urine antigen test. Ano ang screening class? Ito. Ano ang magko-confirm? Yung culture. The one that will confirm yung culture. Nagets? Okay. Ano ang kinokos ng Legionella class? Okay. Ano kinokos? Pneumonia. Kaso, ganito yon. Si Legionella pneumophila, look at this one. Si Legionella pneumophila, number 1, nagkukos ng Legionnaire's disease. And what is Legionnaire's? Legionnaire's is actually pneumonia. Iniba lang ang tawag. So instead of saying nagkukos ng pneumonia, nagkukos siya ng Legionnaire's disease. Legionnaire's is also pneumonia. Pero aside from Legionnaire's, number 2, Legionella pneumophila can also cause Pontiac fever. Yung number 1 tsaka number 2, magkaiba. Kasi yung Legionnaire's, pneumonia yon. Okay? Pontiac fever is actually febrile disease. Lagnat. Naintindihan? Kailan ang kinukos? Di lang isa. Dalawa. Pneumonia, which we call Legionnaire's. The other is febrile disease, which we call naman Pontiac fever. Okay? So, wait for the recorded for brucella. Kapiranggot na lang naman yan. Okay? Tsaka yung rat bite fever. Okay?